The ratings reload promo is finally here in FC 26 Ultimate Team. 88 rated Heung-min Son, 87 rated Trinity Rodman, 86 rated Hugo Ekitike, and take a look at that Oscar Bob. And so many more big cards coming to this promo, and people are panicking. Take a look at the market right now. It's on its way down, and it's going to give a lot of opportunity to be investing in some of the cards that go out of packs today. On top of that, I have leaked SBCs for pretty much every single day of the week and maybe more because there is so much information to get through today. I've been using the last few hours using the division rivals and marquee matchup supply on the market to invest in this card before it goes out of packs, and I'm going to show you it very, very soon. On top of that, we've been picking up cards with chemistry styles and listing them onto the market for even more than they go for to get extra coins every single day. And on top of that, I'm going to show you guys what other investments I think are going to do very well throughout the next couple of days and the next week during this ratings reload promo. So if you're excited for today's video, drop a like right now. We're going for 600 likes today, and let's hop into it. What's the most important thing in FC 26 Ultimate Team? It's coins. And where can you get the cheapest coins? At Loot Bar. It's the cheapest and it's the safest coin trading platform on the entire market. It's 10% cheaper than all the other platforms. And if you use my code Nitro, they're going to give you an extra 8%. And if that's not enough percent, they're going to give you 5% more coins than what you even paid for. Loot Bar has quick delivery within a half an hour. Big creators use it, and it also has great reviews. Don't forget code Nitro at checkout. Here's the ratings reload team in its entirety. We've got some big cards in here, some very expensive ones like Julian Alvarez, Heung-min Son, Rodman right there. You've got Salma Peruelo is not going to be cheap, Ekitike, and even that Oscar Bob, which I thought that this promo was supposed to be about just upgrading the cards just a little bit to what they should have been rated in the first place. The upgrades, like cards that maybe were 1 or 2 ratings too low that EA Sports gave them. Instead, they gave Oscar Bob like a +10 to +13 on every single stat. So much for that power curve slowing down nonsense. They have thrown that into the bin, but it's still a fun promo, and I do think that there's going to be a great way to make coins off this team in the same way that it has been over the last couple of weeks. The best trading method still is out-of-pack investing, especially because I do think that the market is going to continue to come down throughout this weekend, and you don't want to get caught with cards that are in packs, especially during those weekend league rewards. And so you look at a card like maybe Kubarsi, who is going to get upgraded to 85, which I think is actually one of the more fair upgrades. Like, that's probably what he should have been in the first place, like 84 or 85. And so Pau Kubarsi, who's 82 rated, is still only 850 coins. You can get that card for 750, no problem. And if you get him on bid for 700, that's even better. But this Pau Kubarsi card, I think, could absolutely go up in price even more, because you take a look at this Pau Kubarsi, he spiked at 1,300 over the weekend just because he's not like the most unusable card. Of course, if you throw him into an Evo, it makes him a little bit better, but it's not crazy meta. It's more of a fodder card right here that I think could go up just like this Vicky Becho did, because Vicky Becho is in the team of the week 4, as you can see right there. So she's been out of packs since Wednesday, and this card has already doubled in price. So you can see right here on Tuesday, it was 700 coins. It goes out of packs on Wednesday, and now on Thursday, 1,500 coins is what this card is at right now. Already doubled in price. Now, I'm not saying that Pau Kubarsi will double in price, but it's a very good chance that that card does go over 1,000 coins. So if you're running a low budget, that's the card to look at. But what if you're running a more medium to high budget? Let's take a look at some of these cards that are a little bit more exciting, like the cards like Ekitike. So Ekitike is definitely one of the most used cards in the game. And I actually know that because when you look at all of the most used cards in the game, you look at number 1 is Alejandro Balde Martinez. That's the most used card in the game. Omar Marmoush is 2nd. Jeremy Frimpong is 3rd. Camavinga 4th. Konate 5th. Claudia Pina 6th. Ronald Araujo 7th, Marcus Rashford 8th, Ekitike 9th. So he sneaks into the top 10. Mamardashvili is in 10th, and then Peruelo is right here in 11th. So you've got a couple of out-of-pack cards in this next promo that are actually very, very used. Like, they are some of the most used cards in the game. And when you are one of the most used cards in the game, the demand for your card is going to be beyond any other, it's not going to be rising at a normal rate. And we learned this with Alejandro Balde. Now, if you guys remember, I invested in like 23 of these cards at about 12 to 13,000 coins. Now, I got in a little late. Admittedly, I didn't buy until Thursday, which is, Thursday night is what it is for anybody who's got notifications on. But He was down at about 10,000 coins. I bought him at about 12 to 13,000 coins. And since he's the most used card in the game, he was like top 3 at the time. This card ended up just continuing to rise all the time while he was out of packs. Now he goes back into packs today. I can't log into my main account. Well, I can log in. I can't list anything on my main account. So this card is going to come back down in price. Like, it's inevitably going to drop in price over the course of the next day. It's a card that you absolutely should sell. There's no reason to hold on to this card right now. It's going to come back down. But when this card was out of packs, it only rose the entire time. Absolutely fantastic. So when we look at a Hugo Ekitike, can we expect something similar? Well, we're already seeing that rise between like Wednesday and Thursday. It's already up a little bit in price from 5,500 to 6,500. And what I've done is I've actually gone out and I've picked up a couple of these Ekitikes. And what I'm doing is I'm buying the Ekitikes right now with the Hunter cards on them. So that's a very important catch to this. You buy the Ekitikes with the Hunter card attached to the Ekitike. And when we're getting these cards for about 6,300 on average right now, this is a great buy because that's what he goes for normally. With the Hunter card, it adds like 700, 800, 900 coins that you can sell that card for. So that's a great addition to the profit that we will make. It already covers the tax. We're already making profit on all the Ekitikes if we sold now and he doesn't go up all week. Like, if this is the price that he's all week, we're already making profit because of that Hunter card, and people list the cards with the Hunter already on them for the same price as the other cards go for. And it's not that hard to snipe them, as you can see by some of the footage right there with me sniping the Ekitikes for like 6.2 and 6.3. But you can also list these cards like I am right now for much more than what they go for. Because of that Hunter card, people are more likely to lazy buy these cards, which means that they're clicking compare price, they're just seeing the first page, and they click on the card that has the chemistry style they want, and then they just buy it because the price isn't too ridiculous. These lazy buyers will make you so many coins throughout the year, and that's exactly what I'm doing with this Ekitike right there. But I do also think that there's a couple other cards that we can look at that are going out of packs that might go up in price. Now, Ekitike is one of them. The other one might actually end up being the Trinity Rodman. Do I have her pulled up already? Let's go ahead and pull her up. So Trinity Rodman, I think, is also a card that could do well. Now, right now, she's actually dropping in price. She was 39K. She's down to 36,000 coins. We'll take a look at the hourly just yesterday. This card went from 30,000 coins to about 40,000 coins. Today, she's come from 40,000 coins down to 35. So this is not a bad deal. It is more than what you would have paid for a couple days ago, but it's down because of marquee matchup supply, division rivals supply, and people might be replacing her with that new Christian Pulisic SBC. But we already know that this card is in the new promo as well. And if we take a look at the cards that have been most used in the game, well, Trinity Rodman is not that far removed. Now, she's not top 10, but she is top 20 most used cards in the game. And I think that's enough for that card to continue to rise. And when we look at Salma Peruelo, that's a more high budget option right there. 100,000 coins versus 30K versus 6K. A couple of different budgets for whatever you want to go with. Go with your gut on the card you think is going to do the best. But Salma Peruelo could be another option. The only problem with Salma Peruelo, this card's already pretty expensive, and it's dangerous to buy a card that's already risen this much. I mean, she's gone from 75K to 104K in just the last few days. You got to question, how much higher could this card go? Is it going to act like Claudia Pina and just keep rising and rising and rising forever? And speaking of Claudia Pina, who's about 83,000 coins right now, I think this is the bubble. I think this is where it pops. Now, I'm not saying that this card is going to crash back down to like 40K, but it's going to come down today. I think that when this card gets re-released into packs, I also think that there, with a new nerf that's coming to some of the forwards, the defenders, especially the defenders with the bruiser chemistry style, they're going to be a lot better in the game now, and it might hurt some cards that are a little bit slower like Claudia Pina, who don't have the physicality to back it up like Victor Gyökeres would. So with that being said, I think that this is the peak for Claudia Pina, and that's pretty crazy to say. Like, I get that this card has gone from 4,000 coins all the way to 83K, and it hasn't stopped rising, and I'm here to tell you, as somebody with over a decade of experience in Ultimate Team trading, I'm saying that I think this is the peak. I think this is the top. 83,000 coins. I think this card starts coming down now, and it just makes sense. We've got Weekend League this weekend. She's going back into packs. The nerf for some of the forwards, the buff for defending. I do think that this is the peak for Claudia Pina. So if you do have that card, I would sell. Take the big profit that you have inevitably and move on. So those are some of the best investments and the cards that you absolutely need to sell right now before Ratings Reload is released. Now let's talk about these leaked SBCs and objectives. Starting off with Arda Güler, this is going to be a good SBC, especially if the stats look anything like that. Now these stats aren't confirmed. Some of what I am going to show you, they are confirmed stats, but if they look anything like this, it's going to be a pretty good SBC. The only problem is I do think that EA Sports are probably going to price these SBCs pretty expensive if they're on a good club like Real Madrid. We already saw Christian Pulisic, which is a pretty good card, but it is 300,000 coins, and a lot of people just don't have that kind of coinage to dish out for an SBC right now. We don't have the facilities or the fodder to throw into 300K worth of a Christian Pulisic without a playstyle in that instance. So with that being said, the higher price the SBC, the less the links are going to rise. Even if the SBC isn't quite as good, but it's usable, if it's cheap, more people will do it, which means that the links to those cards will rise more. So it depends on the price of that SBC, but I do think that Arda Güler could move up Real Madrid links pretty nicely. Anything between the price of like 10 to 100,000 coins, maybe a Rodrigo, for example, which, by the way, fun fact, I packed Rodrigo on my main account, untradeable. It was my first good pack pull. I then packed him on my new account. I've already gotten a duplicate Rodrigo now. I'm not even joking. We've got a dupe Rodrigo. I've packed him 3 times. I've barely gotten anything else on either account. Why do I keep getting him? EA Sports, spread it out. Give me something new. But I digress. Let's go ahead and talk about some more of these SBCs, because next up we have Semenyo and Bakayoko coming as a player pick SBC. Bournemouth or Leipzig, Ghana or Belgium. There's not a ton of links that I love for these cards. For Bakayoko, I like this Raum card, who's already up in price a little bit from about 14,000 coins to 16K, but he could come down. If this SBC doesn't drop today on Friday, then there's a good chance that that kind of comes down as people sell and they don't really want to wait for this SBC to drop. So that Raum card, though, could be a good shout. And then for Semenyo, there's not a ton of links to go with other than that Mohamed Kudus that people got from the Gauntlet last week. But what does come to mind is the Ghanaian managers. And I think this could be a shout right here. Now, a little bit risky because they are bronze cards, of course, and they are about 18,000 coins, 1,800 coins, 1,600 coins right there. But definitely a lot of upside as well. These cards could go up a lot if the demand for Ghanaian managers does go up. And that's not the last time we're going to talk about managers during this video, actually. Next up, we have Idrissa Gana Gueye and Agurd. In terms of these, I think that, you know, Idrissa Gana Gueye is probably the more likely pick that people are going to go with. Maybe not as desirable right here, but a Senegalese player from Villarreal and a Moroccan from Marseille. I just don't see a lot of people choosing Agurd if the stats look anything like this. However, Idrissa Gana Gueye does look usable. It's just tough to link that card. So, you know, we'll keep that in mind with what we are talking about in the future, but I just don't really think that that SBC is going to move things too much. However, this one could, because right here we have El Hadji Malik Diouf, who is in my fantasy FPL team. He's been cooking, but this could actually be a very usable card. Now, these are official stats for Diouf here. 85 pace with 84 physical, 82 defense, 75 plus on every single stat, Premier League. It is a good card. And so I just don't think that there's a lot of West Ham to link with other than like foundation objectives and stuff like that Jared Bowen. But he's also Senegalese. And when you look at Senegalese managers on the game, they're about 1,000 coins right now. And given the fact that we have 2 back-to-back Senegalese SBCs, I think that there could be some, you know, there could be a case for these Senegalese managers, 700 coins. We will take that right there because we can profit a couple hundred coins off of that immediately. They go for like 1,000 coins. But these Senegalese managers could actually be a decent shout just because there's a couple different Senegalese players coming to SBCs at the exact same time. We also have this Paredes. These are the official stats for Paredes. It kind of looks like that Idrissa Gana Gueye, but it's in an even worse league because he's in the Argentinian league. Tough to link and just maybe not good enough to go out of your way to link it. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't think that this is going to move the market too much. And then we have Jean-Philippe Mateta. This card is okay. These are the official stats for Mateta as well. 90 physicality. it could be a good card with that physicality because the shooting's really good as well. The dribbling is usable. The pace is okay. It could be a card that a lot of people do, given the fact that it's got great stats as well. Now, there's a hyperlink to the Mateta, which is the Maxence Lacroix, who, as you can see, he was about 9,000 coins, rose up to 12K, and now he has come back down to 9,000 coins. So this is the lowest he's been during the year, which is 9,000 coins. It's not a bad shout. The only thing is, will that Mateta drop today? And if he doesn't, then this Lacroix is in packs. There's nothing stopping it from going down in price. It's 79 rated. And with all the packs that come normally on Fridays, it could be a little bit risky. You might have to time this really well, but that's a card to at least keep your eye on with a link to that Mateta, given the fact that they both play for Crystal Palace and are both French. So those are some possible links that you guys could go with the leaked SBCs. The full list of leaked SBCs are right here. So we've kind of covered everything but Matthias Sule, but there's more on the way. And in the future videos, we will update you guys. So make sure to hit that subscribe button right now. Now, if you guys want more trades and investments, I highly suggest you get involved with Next Level Foot Trading. It's a live trading service by the #1 trader of all time, Foot Peppy. You can see right there, he sends you trades straight to your phone, and you can get involved for €5. 2 weeks for €5. Get involved. The link is at the top of the description, and I couldn't suggest it more. But that's about all I've got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Drop a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.